Amongst Americans, we have a large debate, smash burgers versus thick patty burgers. I, for one, love both. But I can tell you right now, this dish is a smash burger recipe, and it is juicy as hell. Look at that juice dripping down right there. And I'm going to tell you something else. It does not include any ketchup, mayo, mustard, no aioli. Yeah, none of those things. We are making something that I don't know if exists. I didn't do enough research to find it. But I will say, it is so unique. This includes Middle Eastern spices that create an amazing burger, and I have to say, it is one of my favorite ones ever. So let's make this shit. Okay, so I'm out of camera. I'm back in focus. Today, we are making a lamb and pork burger. Yes, with a tahini sauce. I can't wait. This is going to be awesome. I love fusion food. A lot of the herbs and stuff come from the Middle East, like the spices that I'm going to be using today, the tahini and all that. There are people who do eat pork out there, but this one is going to be pork and lamb mixed together into a burger patty, and I really believe this is going to be good. So, without further ado, let's make this shit. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with our sauce, which is tahini sauce. You can find this on Amazon or at your local grocer, and it is very thick, okay? It's like peanut butter almost, but a little bit more creamy than peanut butter. And we're going to add about 3 to 4 heaping tablespoons of that, and then we're going to add the juice of half a lemon to this sauce here. So half a lemon to the tahini, and then I'm going to come through with about 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to mince them into this. Now, we're also going to add some olive oil. You can use avocado. It's perfectly fine, or whatever oil you have. And then we're also going to add some water. Why? Because we want viscosity. Viscosity, in a really weird way of saying, just increases the amount of movement within the liquid. And a little bit of kosher salt. About a couple teaspoons at max, maybe a teaspoon of that, and we're going to give it a good mix. And it may clump up. We just keep repeating the process. Olive oil, water, lemon, until we get the right viscosity that we want, and to make sure that it tastes really good. And I gotta say, this is an awesome sauce. It is a really good sauce. It's very easy. I can't believe how simple this is. Anyways, we're going to move to the meat, which is pork and fresh ground lamb. And it's about a pound of each. I'm going to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. The same for some fresh ground pepper here. If you don't have fresh ground, it's perfectly fine. Use whatever you have. And then I'm going to come through and add some crushed red chilies. 1 to 3 tablespoons, depending on spice preference. And then I'm going to add some cumin, about a tablespoon of cumin. Then 1 to 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika here. And if you have paprika, that's perfectly fine. I prefer smoked. Then I'm going to come through with some harissa, about a teaspoon of that. And the same for some fresh ground coriander. And then once all that's done, I'm going to give it a good mix. Yep, mix it all up really well. And I gotta say, you're gonna start smelling this, and I kind of went in like a weirdo and started smelling this because I gotta say, it smelled really good. So I'm gonna put this in my refrigerator for a little while to marinate, and I'm gonna move on to our greens, which is some arugula, and it's gonna have some sumac in it, about a tablespoon of sumac added to that, and I'm gonna add some olive oil and give it a really good mix. About a tablespoon of olive oil at max. You don't need a lot. Just give it a good mix, and this is going to make a really good topping for this dish. So, onto our buns. I'm using brioche buns with sesame seeds. You can use whatever buns you want. And I am going to go ahead and just put some butter on these buns. You can use mayonnaise as well. It's perfectly fine. Just go ahead and spread that on there before lightly toasting them. Now, while the skillet is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start working our patties. So I'm going to form these into balls, and I like to pack them. So what I mean is smack them side to side. You can leave air pockets in them too. I hear that works really well.
but I just want to form these into really nice balls. Then into an oiled pan that's been heated up to about medium to high heat, I'm going to start toasting our buns. Now, I have a specific process with these buns. What I'm going to do is I'm going to toast them on one side and then toast them lightly on the other side, just to give a nice texture to the burger. As you can see, it has a nice texture on top for the bun. And then I'm going to start working on our cheese. I'm using goat cheese here. And I got to say, you don't have to use goat cheese, but it is so damn good in this burger. So I'm going to take the goat cheese and I'm going to go ahead and put it into a bowl. I want this to warm in advance. And I'm going to add some olive oil to this, about a tablespoon, and start working through it with a fork to start making sure that I can get it as creamy as possible. The warming and the working through will help with that. And just like our tahini sauce, you may have to add more olive oil or avocado oil, whichever one you want to use. But you have to keep working through it because that'll help it get more creamy along the way. Then I'm going to come through after adding enough olive oil and heat to make sure that this gets creamy enough for me. I'm not warming it on any heat. It's just natural heat within my home. I'm going to add some parsley, just a little bit of parsley. Maybe a handful, less than that, and just work through it. Add a little bit more olive oil, and then we are good for that sauce. This is a really good cheese that's going to be on top of this burger, and I gotta say, it is phenomenal. You can do cream cheese, you can do whatever kind of cheese you want, but it is great. All right, and then into a hot pan with some oil in it, I'm going to add in our meat. I'm doing 2 at a time here because I can't use my grill right now. And between some parchment paper and then my handy dandy smasher here, I'm going to start smashing these burgers, pushing them down. You can use a spatula if you want. It's perfectly fine. I just had this around the kitchen. Then you want to give them a good flip throughout the process because you don't want to burn one side and have another side kind of raw, kind of not very cooked, kind of cooked. You want it even. And then it is time for plating. So first, with our tahini sauce at the bottom, give it a good spread around there and use as much as you want. Then our beef patty right there, some tomatoes, and then we're going to start adding in our pickled onions. You can use regular red onions if you want, and some arugula that we infused with that sumac. Don't think I can say infused, but yeah, we're there. And then, of course, on the top, I'm going to spread that goat cheese. Now, I gotta say, this recipe looks amazing. It looks phenomenal. So, I hope you enjoy. We're ready to eat. All right, so we're all done, and I gotta say I'm very excited about this. It is a different recipe that I've ever made for a single burger ever, and I have a good feeling that this one is gonna hit really hard. It's gonna be amazing. So here we are. There's a burger. This thing is hot as hell, and I'm gonna go ahead and try this shit. So here we go. What the hell? There's no mustard. There's no mayo. There's no ketchup. This is better. This is awesome. I have to say, it's just dripping with sauce. This burger is one of my favorite burgers I've ever made. I'm going to take one more bite. Holy crap. Wow. You gotta make this burger. You know, you can find tahini. If you can't find tahini, go to Amazon or something. You can order it. I'm telling you right now, this burger is something you gotta make. This is on my top tier list of burgers, 100%. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and all of you who haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And all of you who are subscribers,
Thank you so much for watching this. And honestly, guys, I want to hear from you what you want me to make. And yeah, cheers. Because this burger it's insane. This is insane. So, cheers. I'm out. I'm done.